Hey, this is Manginoni, and here is typically should have been the good, the bad, disappointing, but there was actually three really spectacular books this week. In all cases, for me at least, as I was reading each one, I was going, well, this is good. It's not the greatest, and then once I got done, I was like, this book was actually really, really good. So even though there's I would say the first two books I would say are a tie for sure. I mean, even though I'm going to say good and better, but I think I kept flip flopping them. So let's just get on with the ranking. First up is Batman Detective Comics 936. With this issue here, Robin basically, or I should say, Red Robin calls in Batwoman because he discovers the video where Batman just gets pummeled by the military-like Batman force. And they know something big is coming down, and there's some truths that were revealed about Batman and Batwoman's relationship in this whole mess. And then they call in the troops because they need to plan. Now, I won't go any more than that because there's going to be a lot more spoilers. But I will say this was a really, really good book. Better than I'd ever thought this would ever be. The Orphan was a kick-ass character in this. I wish they would. I need more of that. The ending was really, really solid. I want to be a little bit more descriptive, but about what happened, but I don't want to also just blow everything and reveal everything. The art was solid. The storytelling was good. The way they built the issue up in terms of, okay, shit's going to hit the fan. We need to do something. And stuff happens. And that's the way they built it up was really good. It just drew me in. I really enjoyed everything about this issue. This was definitely, it kind of makes you wonder too. It's like, why couldn't you just do this before when it was New 52? I mean, I don't understand it. This was better than anything that they've been doing in the past year or so. So, good job with this. The better. Old Man Logan, number 8. With Old Man Logan, this is another one too where I was just reading it, I was like, okay, it's alright, let's just keep moving this along. And then at the ending was a solid home run ending. It was like, you can even call it a really emotional type ending also. While Detective was an oh shit ending, this was really solid. With this issue here, basically, it's the anniversary of when the villains basically took over, and they launched their attack to kill everybody, and all the superheroes. And Logan is just uneasy, and Jean Grey picks that up. And she goes to him and she's like, look, nothing's going to happen. This is not the same world. You need to calm down. And he just can't. So she grabs the Sentinel that Forge fit or changed into, to get that teleporter. And she goes around and she's like going, okay, look, New York, what happened at New York? What time was that supposed to happen? Look, everything's fine. But what was cool was every location they went to, you got a little snapshot as to what happened. And we got to see She-Hulk's last stand. We got to see Ant-Man and Wasp's, or Giant Man's and Wasp's last stand. It was just so well done. And then at the end, it was kind of like, you're feeling all depressed and sad, and then you go home, and then it's like your mom is there with, the brownies and, something like milk and brownies, right? And it just was that kind of an ending to it. And then, once we got even that, the very end, the dialogue between Logan and Jean Grey was just, that was it. This was a solid 10 out of 10 type book. The art was solid. We got a mixture of, oh wow, that was really cool, I want to see more of that. And then really good character development and it was just a solid read. I was very impressed with this book. I mean, this book has just been so well done, and I originally, when I first heard about it, I just wrote it off. But man, I was just so wrong. This is very, very good. Now, the book that was freaking crazy, Sabrina, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. All right, you got to hold on to your hats for this one. First of all, I'm just going to say the art was fantastic. But what made this book even better was we got to see the origin of the familiars. Basically, the cobras and the cat. Now, they get into a little dialogue about how come the cat's not killing the mouse, and we learned that the cat was really a person. Well, we also learned that the cobras were royalty. They were prince and princess. And they explain what happened and how their father was basically going to marry this woman. And, well, I say their father, he was like the king or sultan or something to that effect. And his wife died. Then after that, he found another woman, and then he was going to marry her. And she basically made it very clear to the kids that she's going to give her husband as many boys as possible, and those two are going to be basically put to death or exiled, and because she's not going to have any place for them. Now, of course, the kids are alarmed, and they go to the trusted, let's just call him a wizard, and he basically hatches a plan that basically betrays them, and then ultimately they get cursed into becoming snakes. Now, from there, now while that story was okay, then we get to Salem, and we get to a ship that basically went to the Boston, and then, or not Boston, but near Salem, and then they had a plague on it. This guy gets off the boat. He's okay. He's trying to make a living for himself. He finds himself a nice little farm. And shenanigans happen. And then the crazy stuff that you would never believe in a comic book happens. And it was freaking crazy. That's all I got to say. If you've seen the movie The Witch, yeah, I mean, I think that these guys watched that movie and they got inspired. Because it was nuts. And it was just jaw-dropping, and I was like, I am so on board with this book. This is nothing like you would expect from an Archie title. For everything from the artwork to even the darkness of this book is just like, there is no saving this book, from being totally evil. It was a fantastic read. I really enjoyed it. And just hearing their stories, and it's like both familiars are just waiting for the chance of them becoming human again. And the cat specifically is actually tied into Sabrina and her storyline very closely. And this was unbelievable. We need more books like this. That's all I got to say. I mean, not the sense that it's dark, but in the sense that it's taking such interesting chances, and it's really throwing caution to the wind to tell a story. That's what I'm talking about. Fantastic read. Highly recommend it. The trade is coming out, so I would highly recommend buying the trade and just start buying this. You will not be disappointed at all. Anyways, that's my good, better, best. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Let me know what your good books of the week were. And we'll have some more stuff later. Like, share, and until next time.